Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the 14th and last Wheel of Time live show. Applause.
That's depressing.
No.
I can't believe I don't know what you're talking about.
Applause.
I like that Becca and I both posted freedom-related videos at the end of our reading journey.
I haven't seen yours yet.
No, well, mine was on Friday.
I did bring a beer as well. Cheers, guys.
I brought a Fanta. Do you have that?
I have
water. Like, I made so many notes for this book.
I'm so glad because you can carry this live show because I don't even know what happened.
And I also have the official death count and the people who should be dead death count.
We are gonna. I finished this in the sprints we just did, and so did Becca, and it was a good time. I saw Becca's rating already, but I want to give everyone a pat on the back for completing the series. And if you are here and have not completed the series, I'm very proud of you to be here. Are we going to start with ratings, Amberly?
Oh, I gave it 5 stars. Was that a question?
Yeah, Dab.
I realized I rated it on Goodreads 4. Like, my brain said 3.5 at the end. Honestly, the 4 was the feeling of being done more than the book. But I had mixed feelings throughout this one.
Brandy's only here for you, Becca. Only for emotional support.
I mean, everyone, I know Amberly and Deb can testify. So Brandy's always just here for me.
I need to. Oh, no, because I wanted like it to pop, but now we are circles.
Yeah,
because when we were on this one, it doesn't pop, then it blocks your faces. Oh, sorry, I'm struggling. Can we not be circles? How do I do this? Ignore me. Are we still circles?
I've just been live for too many hours today.
Okay, well then we're just gonna cover your faces. I don't even know what to say. It was a long battle. We are gonna talk spoilers because it's the 14th book in the series. So it's like you didn't even ask Becca's rating. I already knew it. What is your thoughts, Becca?
I gave it 2 stars. This is like the biggest waste of my time in my entire life. Like, I don't know. I genuinely am so confused about why people think that this series is worth it. Because this book was just awful.
Maybe it's the people who read it as it was coming out and they had the like anticipation and the hype and the not trying to binge it all in 2 years. I don't know.
I think it was worth it.
Oh, well, Emily, you've got questionable taste, and we know that about you, and it's okay.
That's true. You've been telling me that for years. That's not actually an insult anymore.
It's true. But like, I just a 1,000-page battle, because that's all it was. Nothing else happened apart from battle, and then we had a 9-hour chapter called the final battle, and then the battle continued after.
I really liked that chapter.
I think the battle was epic, and I was just gonna say I gave it 5 stars.
I was looking on Goodreads at the ratings, like the people, like I scrolled through the top few ratings, and everyone was like 5 stars. It was beautiful. To be fair, the last battle chapter was probably the best part of the entire book, and it was like 20% of it. So
the fact that it took me 3 days to read a chapter is just wild to me. When I typically read a book in a day.
I think that like obviously you have to care for the characters in the world and all that. And I see so many flaws in the series as a whole of like the writing, how it takes so long for anything to happen. But I don't know why. I feel attached. I feel like I love the characters, some of them. I love the world. I look in my head, it's just very massive and cool. And I think it's cool that he's managed to take all these pieces and bring them together. However, I see the flaws. I wish the series had been written and edited better, but I still like it. Sorry. Okay, so Amber has notes. Let's go through them. Starting on the top. Let's go.
One thing I'm still not entirely who was Esam? Like that was like my first note. The random guy who we find out is sharing Lord Luke's body and is like the Slayer. Were we supposed to know who that is? Because even by the end of the book, I'm still not sure who that was.
That seemed like it was supposed to be a massive revelation, but it went right over my head.
Yeah.
Same.
Sandra?
Yeah, I don't have anything to say about that. Next.
Can the chat help us? I will admit, like, y'all are going to carry me in this live show because it's well known that battle scenes not really for me. So 1,000 pages of battle scenes, like my brain was on like low power mode for the majority. I was like actively counting bookmarks and restocking my Etsy shop while listening to the last 2 hours of this. I was like so fucking done because it wasn't.
I liked the like politicking at the beginning of Rand going in and taking all these countries and saying you all have to make this agreement. You're not going to fight for however long. You're going to do these things. He gave out the policing job. Like I liked that at the beginning, and then I really don't remember what else.
You know what really pissed me off in this book? Actually, everyone being like, "We need to do our best," while Rand does Rand does what he needs to do, and we need to just like hold on and keep fighting. Meanwhile, he's just watching them like, "Oh no, someone's dead. Oh no," and I'm like, this maybe wouldn't be happening if you would hurry up and do what you're supposed to be doing. That's what they're doing. They're buying you time for you to stand and watch them.
He was having a mental battle with the Dark Lord while they were having a physical one. It was rather anticlimactic. I actually posted in the Discord when I was in like nearing the end of that 9-hour chapter that if this entire last battle ended up just being some sort of dream sequence where he just had to think his way through it and then everything was hunky-dory, I was gonna riot and I would have written off the entire series. Because it did seem like it was heading that way.
Yeah, it could have definitely.
But we did get some answers. We got some answers to questions that we'd had for a while. Like, Rand did not know that Elaine was pregnant until this book.
No, he didn't. He didn't. I was like, she's pregnant. I was like, you didn't know? We've known for like we've known for the last year, Rand.
But also, in as much as this whole series has not taken that much time, like years-wise, somehow we went from everyone seeing her being pregnant to like, okay, the babies are ready to survive and be born. Like they're talking about, I'm like, so maybe she was barely 5 months pregnant as the book started, but hey, the babies are fine. Twins in this world where they don't have healthcare.
That's a good point actually as well, because we were saying in the last book where she's just at the point where she's just showing.
Yeah.
But with twins, that's like very early in pregnancy with twins because you've got two in there.
True. Yeah.
So like,
I mean, I guess maybe this is a world where they're wearing a lot of corsets and they're smushing the babies in there, but yeah, it seemed like suddenly the pregnancy advanced a whole lot in this book.
I have one thing to say. This is probably in Amberly's notes, but we are just jumping everywhere. Did it end? It was just me because I know it's a wheel, but it's because he was going to destroy the Dark One, but then he realized he needs the Dark One in the world, and then he just like locked him in again, and everything is going to happen again.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my god!
Seem that way. Yeah.
Knew that? But I've forgotten it.
Yeah.
So basically, the entire series
was a big waste of time.
Just everything they did, it didn't matter. And they're all going to be born again in new bodies.
Still like leagues and above when Joe Abercrombie does it. So.
And then it was also Rand, did he switch bodies?
Yeah, that is the ending, and like the fact that he survived and stuff. That is like the one thing that I almost dropped down a star because I don't like it.
No, yeah, it felt very.
And then
I had to like rewind and go, wait, well, what?
Why? But Rand died, and then but he still had a bond with his wives, and then he was just like, "Will any of them follow me?" Oh no! How do I have the audacity to think any of them will? And then That's the point. I died a bit inside.
And it was, how would I choose? How am I supposed to choose between the three of them now? And I'm like, well, you weren't choosing before.
And this is his way of going to a body that is not missing parts and all scarred up and all. You know, he not only gets to survive, he gets to be Mr. Perfect again.
I mean, I've also got this going on behind me.
But like, because he got a new body, but was it one of the Forsaken? Yeah.
Wasn't it Moradin?
Yeah, I think so.
It was wild.
That sounds right. I finished this 2 whole days ago.
I finished this 2 whole hours ago.
2 to 3 weeks ago.
I'll be honest, I missed him dying, and then I was surprised when they were at his funeral, and then I was confused because he was alive. So.
Well, we saw the scene. Who was it? The one going around trying to get all the stories down. I'm blanking.
It is
was
Loyal.
And he sees like 2 of Rand's wives over doing laundry. He's like, "Oh, that's strange. Rand's dying, and they're doing laundry." I'm like, what is this? Why don't they care? They're doing laundry. It's like,
And
they're very bad secret keepers. That's why.
Why did Perrin have a dream about the falcon and then he found Fail under a carriage and I wanted her to be dead? Because I read this before, but in my head I was wishfully thinking she was actually dead.
Oh, is she not dead? I thought
she's not dead. He found her.
Well, he found her and she's really in bad shape, and that's kind of where it left it, right?
I completely blanked that out.
Well,
no, because I was invested because like, is she dead? Is she dead? No, she's alive.
But also, the people who actually died were very conveniently killed in couples.
Yeah.
Oh, Egwene, my love.
That's the one that kind of made me sad.
No, the one that made me sad was Bella. It was unnecessary. You kept that horse alive for 14 damn books.
To kill it with an arrow for
I'm
no
so mad.
reason. And then why? What's the point? What is the point?
She's the one name that has the 3 crying faces.
It's really mad about because I'm like, what is actually the point? There was literally no reason to kill this horse that you've kept alive for 14 books. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Because they needed a certain hit count by the end, and they're like not really willing to kill off any of these.
Literally. There's only one scene that I liked about this book, and it was the kid blowing the horn.
I like that, yeah. Oliver finally had a purpose.
Yeah.
That's why we kept him alive.
Something important.
And then Brigitte died, but then she got reborn, so she's good again.
Mm. Oh, that was some lost her memories, actually.
Side characters that I got really attached to this book. Like, I know Talmanis has been around for quite a while, but that whole part at the beginning of him, like, fighting in Camelin or wherever it is that Andor, whatever, wherever Elaine's city was, Kyrie and Camelin, I can't remember which one's which at this point. But like him fighting at the beginning made me really attached to him. And then Pavara and Andral, I loved them. Like the whole pettiness of you bonded me, I'll bond you back. And then just like their growth throughout the book. I really enjoyed them.
Some of the deaths that I'm saddest about are like Swan Sanche and Gareth Bryn as well. That I was sad about this. And Brigitte.
And when you wrote in the chat, "Oh my God, Gareth Bryn is a dark friend."
Yes, I was shook.
I was laughing.
That's the only moment in this book where I was like,
and then he was only compelled.
Yeah, that was the theme of this book. It was like, oh my God, everyone's compelled.
Yeah.
And then I feel like what she called Fortuona, she showed her true colors in this book, which is that she is exactly the person we always thought that she was. And I was like, Brett.
Wait, Matt's wife?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's pregnant. They're going to have a baby.
Yeah.
So happy. He deserves it.
Except she says, yeah, now I'm pregnant. I don't need you anymore. Or did he say it? One of them said it. It's like, okay, I can kill you now.
He'll get out of it. You know, she's too fond of him. He's too charming. She's not gonna kill him.
There's everything. Did you guys see? Sorry, this is a bit of a diversion, but I did see that the Wheel of Time live show, not live show, TV show got cancelled.
Yeah.
And I haven't watched actually the second and third season yet, but I obviously wanted to, and I was really curious to see the last battle because it's a lot of different parts, and I think visually it could be very cool.
It'd be better than reading it for sure. So it would be better than reading it for sure.
Yeah. So now we don't get to see that.
No, it's actually properly cancelled now as well because the networks were shopping it, but no one's picked it up.
And I'm assuming season 3 doesn't actually resolve anything, so I'm kind of like taking it off my to watch list.
They said that they planned 8 seasons for the whole series.
Yeah.
So if we only got 3 seasons, then it's like 5 seasons up in the air.
Yeah.
I
was struggling to get through season 1.
Yeah, I didn't love season 1. Apparently it got better with season 2, but at this point I don't see the point in continuing.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with it. I was pushing through to get to season 2 on the advice it's better, but I'm like, I hate it when shows don't get an ending.
Yeah. But like obviously the adaptation wasn't completely faithful, so I'm a bit both. I would like to see that adaptation end, but also when I was watching season 1, I was just like, oh, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong constantly. So yeah. What is other things you have on your list, Amberly?
Well, we have another dark friend we knew was a dark friend confirmed, Taim. I mean, we all saw that coming.
But that's what I felt was lacking in series. It's like there's so many like not dark friends, but also like Forsaken, but you actually don't have a good overview of them. So it's just a bit like, who are you? And then like when Taim is evil, I don't care because like he was evil from the second we met him. So I'm just like, oh. Also, what was it? Lanfair got her neck snapped by Perrin when she was trying to compel him. He just snapped her neck, and I was just like, oh, that was easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Forsaken have always been super easy to kill, except for suddenly at the last battle when you had that, whichever one, the Willed, I can't remember what his actual name was, then he was suddenly super duper hard to kill. And like throughout this entire series, Rand has killed so many of the Forsaken so easily, and then we get to the last battle and suddenly they're just so difficult.
Yeah.
Demon
that was a bit of a plot convenience.
Everyone was like talking about him, and I'm like, can we just get rid of him? I'm bored of him now.
But it's actually a bit funny you say this, Emily, because I know like the people behind the show, one of them that was like the lore master, she read like the first few books like 8 times before they were making it to like make sure everything is correct, and still everything was not correct. So it's all about like what they can make on the screen. Is like, oh, this is correct, and they probably say no, but that costs money, so that's too bad.
I actually think that everything about this book was either boring or cringe. Like, just because of Moonshadow Nell's comment about Perrin broke compulsion with the power of love. And then, oh my god, the Sean Chan saved the day. And then I've got just like stabbing people with stuff.
Yeah. My issue with Perrin at the end, we get the epilogue and the whole finding Fael thing. He is connected to wolves. Wolves have really good scent abilities. Why couldn't he just send the wolves out to find his wife? Like, why did we have to go back to, where's my wife? Where's my wife?
No, Ashama, no! Becca's me during the Rune Light Show.
Rune was such a good book.
Have you caught up?
I've read them before.
Oh. Well, you're not in the live shows, huh? Huh?
I haven't reread them. I reread the first one.
Neither did Aaron, but she was still there.
Aaron's a host. That's different. I'm not a host.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was
I was really questioning everyone's life choices when they made Elaine in charge of all of the armies. You know, this pregnant woman whose moves are all over the place and who literally made them hoist her to the top of a wall in a bed. She's the one in charge of the armies.
Like, Elaine remains to be the only iconic character in this.
And yet she likes Rand enough to have babies with him.
And she rode out into battle, not knowing how to battle, swinging a sword around like this on a horse. Like, I just don't understand. I will not take any Elaine slander. My favorite character from the beginning of this series to the end, actually, no. My favorite character of this series from the beginning to the end is Logan.
Are you so happy he was back?
Yeah,
he saved the women and children.
He's like, I must have power for myself, and then he's like, oh no, I might just save the children instead. Actually, he's like, oh, what's the point? And then everyone's like, oh my god, you're a hero, and he's like, yeah, I am.
It's funny because you're talking about Logain is exactly like the look on your face and everything. That's me with Matt. And so it's really funny.
Logain's a shadow daddy. Matt is a pervert.
You said earlier you hated Matt, Becca. Do you have a reason for this?
Oh, because he's just a perv. He's a perv, and his wife is like an unapologetic slave master. Like, they're like literally two walking red flags. Like, even throughout this, he was like, "Oh, I'd like to take that barmaid out back, but I'm married." And I'm like, "Stop it, you creep! He's grim. Why is he alive?"
They belong together.
Wasn't the resolution in here like their compromise was okay? We won't take new slaves, but the ones we have are just fine.
But then Min comes into the camp for like 10 seconds, and she's like, "You're staying here now. You're my new truth speaker." And Min's like, "I've got shit to do, but it's fine, I guess." And just came to give you a message. All right.
Look, she finally had a purpose after doing nothing but following around and sleeping with Rand for like the past 5 to 6 books. I was just happy to see her finally doing something.
But then there's also like, what is the message that we're trying to send here with the Sean-Chan? Because it's like, we don't believe in slavery, but we'll just leave you to be slaves over your own area of the world, and we'll just like respect that. And I'm like, I support respecting other people's cultures, but I'm not sure how I feel about respecting slavery.
Yeah.
Didn't they come to the agreement, though, that they had to give them the choice?
Yeah, but like, what does that... Like, but she doesn't agree with that. She like agreed with it to keep the peace, but she doesn't agree. Like, she still thinks that what she's doing is right. Because the whole discussion with Egwene, where she's like, "Oh yeah, well, women want to be collared. Like, women love being collared," and Egwene's like, "I think you're wrong, but okay," and that's kind of where they leave it. So she's like, because Egwene agrees to it, because she's like, "Well, no woman actually wants to be collared," and I kind of agree with Egwene, you know.
Oh, I agree with you too. I really wish that Robert Jordan had stayed alive. I really, really wanted a book that was entirely about the Sean-Chan. To just explain some stuff.
If Robert Jordan was still alive, the Wheel of Time would not be done. That's the truth. It will be 35 books. And he's
I want a book of like an explanation of what out of all these last 3 books came from Jordan. What did Brandon Sanderson change? Like, I just want that thought process like laid out somewhere of like how it worked.
This book, especially being written by Sanderson, lacked plot twists.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, this is literally just a battle and everything is happening. Kind of as I expected. Obviously, I didn't know that Egwene was going to sacrifice herself, but it's not some great surprise that she did. You know, like nothing like surprised me in what happened.
Well, you know for sure that Tom and Moraine hooking up came from Jordan. You know, everyone trying to get pregnant in this book came from Jordan.
And then Avienda got hurt, so she can't like walk properly.
Who got hurt?
Avienda.
Oh yeah.
Avienda actually was my fave the first time I read the series, but now I felt like she just was there.
Yeah, she kind of like she's not like super relevant for the last 2 or 3 books.
No, I wish she was though. I wish she was because I really enjoy her character.
Well, her big thing in the last. It was the last one, right? Or was it this one? Was sleeping with Rand and everyone outside cheering them on.
That was this one.
That was this one. See,
it was
her
trying
loved some sleeping with Rand.
Yeah. And just having her people outside. Like,
But now,
this is
now he's not Ran
weird.
anymore. He's a new person. And he's gonna go around in the world, and he was thinking about, oh no, I need to ask for food at the tavern. Either way, do you think, like that the others will follow him and have more sleeping together?
Oh, absolutely.
He's irresistible, Sandra.
But Elaine is the
He's gonna
queen.
away.
She's busy.
But isn't he in like an ugly Forsaken body now?
Yeah,
He's
or
still
maybe it's
Rand
that-
though, and they're obsessed with Rand. Rand is literally the worst character in this entire series from beginning to end, but he sure pulls the ladies.
I was thinking that the epilogue and like what we saw at the end of having everything left off was so short, considering how much book we had. So like I wish that like I didn't actually wish the book was longer, but I think like we could have cut down on other things because I wanted to see Lan go home, for example. We don't get that scene, and I wanted to see like I don't know what else I was going to say. Like other like people going home, I don't know, Cat Swin becoming Armelin, and then like be like, oh, it is the start of a new age, and done in the book. I feel like that would have felt more final than seeing just Ran ride off on a horse.
But it was all about Rand. That's all Robert Jordan wanted to do was Rand.
I'm so annoyed that he didn't die as well. Like literally, he had one job.
I know. I
Yeah.
really wanted him to die.
Yeah.
Then his wife would
And
be
I
sad.
wanted it to be something other than, okay, we'll start the wheel around again.
Did Lan die and come back to life, or did he just not die?
He didn't die. He was on my list of people who should be dead.
Yeah.
No, never.
I was sad
No,
about
like based
was-
on the events of the book, he's
Right.
on my list of people who should be dead.
Who are on the list should be dead, except Fail.
when I
Uh,
thought that Lan was dead as well. I was like, okay, Nynaeve's definitely going to die because everyone's dying in couples.
Well, I have to add Fail because I conveniently blocked out the part where he saved her, apparently. So people who should be dead is Talmanis, Lan, Perrin, Galad, and Fail.
Glad's got one hand, right? That's what happened to him. 'Cause he went
Yeah,
off
and then
the-
it was just like, oh no, my brother, you're dead. And then he was just like, you have another brother. And then he died.
That was like, I don't know if I feel sad about the fact that Gawain died or not, because like it kind of was at the time, but then I also knew it was coming when he was like, I'm going to sneak out of this tent and go on my own secret mission. And I was like, yeah, you're off to die.
They really like cutting hands off, though. I mean, I know we only got a
really?
couple, but it felt
See,
like
this
a
is- I know for
Galad
sure-
did live, yes.
Yeah, because somebody was tending to him. Oh, Ellen was the one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's the one who was super horny on him.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? I really do support Belen in her quest to just have a man.
I agree.
And the way
Yeah.
that she just like clocked it, like she clocked Galad across this meeting ground and was like, "You are the one."
Exactly. And supposedly it's like super duper, super uber pretty. So go and take a pretty man.
Massive boobs, so like I think they're gonna have beautiful children.
Yeah.
I had a couple things that I can't tell if they were plot holes or if I misremembered things, but what Rand kept talking a lot in this book of how Egwene had taught him how to rule and be a leader. When did Rand and Egwene spend so much time together that she was able to teach him how to rule and be a leader?
Well,
Like,
they
but-
did used to date, but she has
No.
started to rule as an Armelin. That he
No,
hasn't
sorry,
been-
Rand and Elaine, not Egwene. Rand and
Oh.
Elaine.
Oh, yeah, no, that-
Because
Well,
he spent
I guess
most of
he's-
the series with Min.
yeah, but I guess he's like been like aware of what is happening afar, just not that she's pregnant.
Actually, poor Elaine, because he spent some time with Avienda and he spent a lot of time with Min, and he got Elaine pregnant and then didn't see her until she was 6 months gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor Elaine, and she's like, the
Yeah,
best-
I think that was off page. The teaching.
Why is Gawain the most hated character?
Oh, Gawain was awful. I couldn't stand him.
I like him.
I
liked
like him.
Galad.
I think
Galad, the white cloak.
Yeah, I liked him
Ugh.
like through the entire. I really enjoyed his
Ugh.
character like through the entire thing, but I did not like Gawain.
what was Gawain doing when Galad was doing the white cloak stuff? He got Sanche out of the
No,
He
yeah,
was-
he was like with his little band. He took like over
Defending
like
the
the
White Tower.
was
Yeah.
it the Warders defending the White Tower and getting
yeah.
the tower. I don't know why people don't like him. I liked him. He's the better
I
of the
like
brothers
him.
for sure. Although in Galad's defense, he did see the errors in the Children of the Light, and he reformed them to actually be good.
Yeah, in like 20 minutes.
Whereas Gawain was actually knowingly defending the bad White Tower and all that stuff. Questionable life choices.
But it's like Egwene said, like there was never a bad White Tower. It was just one bad Armelin. She didn't want to like wake the tower either. She wanted them all to come together again. It was not like they were gonna go against the people loyal to what was her name again? The Armelin lady, Eliada.
Which one was the one that always has to do the right thing?
Galad.
Yeah, because that's the one that everyone in the book hits. Like, Elaine hits him. She's like, oh, he's so annoying, which is fair. And in this book, he's like, oh, I've learned that, like, just because I know what's right, I can't expect everyone to know what's right. Just like some people can't ride horses. Okay.
He had growth this book. He had a lot of growth this book.
Sure.
Also, I caught it because I was reading along while I was listening to the audiobook for this one because it was the last one. And in the last battle, the FAES were cursing in fury was written. I didn't think the Murdrolls talked. Do the Murdrolls talk?
They give orders to the Trollers.
They were cursing through their fury emotion without words.
Maybe it's more like sorry, I feel a bit insane today, honestly.
What did we think about Battle Ogiers?
They were doing their best.
They were having a great time, actually.
I thought they were terrifying.
Isn't the one scene where Matt comes up to Loyal and they're just like having the best time smashing Trollocs to pieces, and Loyal's like, what do you want?
Yes.
Love them.
I was mad at Loyal when everyone was just like had the biggest battle of their lives and he wanted to go around and interview people. I'm like, go away.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like in the epilogue where he's like, where are the Targaryen? I need the Targaryen. Like, I need them to tell me the story quick.
And I'm like, dude, people have PTSD and you're gonna just bring it up again?
Well, and he kept like going back and forth. He's like, I'm looking for this person. He's like looking all around. I'm like, you're not gonna find him that way. That's not how this works.
Ended. So like the PTSD hasn't had time to like really set in yet. So
okay, true.
We're not in post yet.
Sorry.
It's just traumatic right now. It's not post-traumatic.
He's gonna like make them go through the trauma in detail before they even have time to process it.
Except for Rand's wife, who are off doing laundry. And yet he doesn't go interview them and like say anything like, hey, by the way, do you know your hubby's dying over there? Like, it's like, okay, I'm gonna keep looking for Matt. Okay.
So I have a few things that popped up in this book during the battle that I thought were actually kind of cool, like plot or like battle tactics or whatever they used. Did anyone else have any?
No.
Dude, we are not that smart. Bring it.
What? No, I liked how Moghedien, however you say it, I liked how she turned the generals against them with compulsion, like, and was actually working their armies. I thought that was actually pretty cool.
I mean, it was smart. It makes sense. If you can do it, you do it.
And it took them a long while to catch on, and then they had the false accusation of someone being a dark friend. I do agree.
And then there was also the man channeler Aiels for the shadow that came out of nowhere, but they actually had a valid reason for coming out of nowhere and we didn't know they existed. I thought that was kind of interesting.
I didn't know that happened, sorry.
All the red-veiled Aiel who were fighting for the shadow during the last battle.
Oh, no. So, like, I did wonder why the people that were the good guys started killing Aiel.
They were all of the male channelers that the Aiel had been sending to fight the Dark One. But instead of fighting the Dark One like turned them to his side and then used them in the last battle against them. So they were male channeler Aiels.
Well, that's nifty.
That's really cool. I'm excited to see it in the TV show.
Oh,
Maybe that's why for so long people kept saying that male channelers were still a problem when we all thought Rand took care of it. Because there was some sense out there that they weren't all good.
He took care of the madness, but then we have Massin Time that is a little poop.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to hear more of Amelie. Amelie, you have so many good things you thought about. I was just annoyed at Ran and his horse.
I also really liked how they were using the portals in the sky to look down on everything.
That's fair.
They
And
did
of course,
creative portal stuff.
Matt had like the best battle tactics ever, especially when like he put those people in the cave with the dragons, and then we're using portals to shoot the dragons through at wherever he wanted. He's the best, you know?
Yeah.
I think the portals did annoy me a little bit because it did make everything too easy, because it's like everyone's just like crossing the map and it's like, okay, how did you get here? And I'm like, oh wait, portal.
Yes. I think it's fun because like in the beginning obviously we didn't have portals, so that like everyone was moving at a slow pace. And then everything moves faster.
Like, get through any information between people. Like, couldn't use a portal then? No, could we? Like, it had to take 5 books for everyone to find something.
Yeah. But now we have the portals, it makes sense that like the pace like increases. But like in Game of Thrones in the last season, when everyone was going places in like 3 seconds, one before it took them 8 seasons, it was just like annoying because there was no reason for it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I like that the portals use so much of their energy or their whatever, and they burn themselves out at some point. But it was very much like this portal is going to be very useful, and then suddenly the battle will be over, and this person's just at that moment going to burn out. And like there was a lot of convenience to that too.
No, this battle / book took place like in a big field.
Yeah, in the what is it called again? Where the dark one is?
Yeah, no big.
Well, Rand was in Sheol Ghul, but everyone else was fighting in a big field.
Yeah,
that was like in the border of like 4 different countries.
Yeah,
I don't think Sanderson couldn't save this series.
If he had taken over like before the slog,
we
could have had good stuff.
Yeah, I feel like I really didn't like the last book like at all. This one was really good.
This
How
one was
long
definitely better
was
than
this supposed to have been? Oh, like time wise, like isn't that like 2 years?
Yeah,
took me longer than that to read it.
Yeah, but it took longer for Jordan to write it.
It's true.
Well, and then Jordan, wasn't it that the last 3 books were supposed to be one single book in Jordan's mind?
Yeah.
Which means we would have had a lot less detail, but also
no, he wouldn't have been able to do that. I think if Jordan was still alive, he would have written at least 18 books. I'm not joking.
And I think maybe it would have ended the way Jordan planned, and then he just would have picked up with a new quote unquote series and kept writing.
The wheel keeps turning. We'll just go again. I just feel like for a 14-book series, the end was very anticlimactic.
Yeah, I didn't like that Rand lived.
No.
Like the way that the battle, I mean, I really enjoyed like the process of the battle, and I don't mind that the light won. I just hate the actual end and like that he survived and yada yada.
That's why I mean, like it was either boring or cringe. Like the fact that he lived is cringe.
Do you think if we had liked Rand at any point in the series, we would have felt differently?
Look,
maybe
I would have rather killed Perrin for Yield than Rand.
That's true. I agree.
Yeah,
I would have killed them. If we had killed Perrin for Yield, I would be fine with Rand being alive.
And I still kind of stand by my prediction that nobody dies because there's only a Egwene, really. Everyone else is a side character.
The Swan wasn't a very big character, though.
Side character. Like, I consider, like, Naive, Egwene, Rand, Perrin, Matt to be, like, main characters.
Yeah. I mean, even Nynaeve has felt like a side character now for a couple of books.
Oh, yeah, like, she hasn't done anything since she married Lan.
No.
Yeah, she came up here a little more.
Which, I mean, I wouldn't be doing much if I was married to Lan either. I'd be chilling.
I feel like she was more of a main character when Nynaeve, Elaine, and Egwene was like out on the road and hunting Black Aja. then I feel like the three of them was main characters. But then
Yeah.
as later, I doesn't feel like it anymore.
I didn't include like real side characters in the death count, just ones that like we've known and like were important to the story. And all we have is Suan, Gawain, Bryn, Bella, Bashir, Birgitta, Egwene, and Ruark.
I guess, but I would consider Birgitta and Swan to be. They're still not main characters, though. I feel like we only have the 5 main characters. They're like strong supporting sides.
So
But
is
Swan has been like, I feel like you have had a lot of her POV at least. You haven't had any of Birgitta's POV, for example.
True.
Yeah.
Like
I
to
feel
compare.
like Egwene of the originals, she's the only one who didn't directly impact Rand by dying.
I feel
well because when I thought that Lan died, I expected Nynaeve to die, and I was like, okay, so we're just killing the women then. Everyone else.
Yeah.
But luckily that didn't happen.
I think that of all the main characters to die, I felt like Egwene was the one who could have really made a great Armelin and like have a great history in this world, like together with Elaine as queen, and then Nynaeve. Nynaeve is also queen now with Lan. So those 3 I feel actually survived, and we could have killed all the boys.
Yeah.
Sure. Oh, we have
not
the king of the
or
world.
Matt.
Oh, Matt's a king as well.
He is.
Yeah.
Well,
Everyone is except Rand.
Matt's a king who's in the position of like not having any power, but he's married to a queen. So
he controls
He's
the
a
armies
king
now.
consort.
yeah.
I actually really hate that trope as well, where like at the end of the series, the main character is like powerless and lives like a normal person. I'm like, how boring.
Like Shadow and Bone.
I hate that.
Yeah, one of my least favorite tropes in the world is when like they either lose their magic or magic is gone in the world, because I just think it's so boring. Why would you want a war without magic when you created a war with magic? It's like one of my least favorite tropes ever. But Ran in the end, he couldn't channel, but then he was just like, what was he? He was thinking something. He was like, oh, but then he wished, he thought that it was a lit, and then it was. So he has like another type of magic. I didn't get that part.
I think it was like he was. I think wasn't it that he's no longer having to draw on the source, but instead he could just think what he wanted into being.
That is insane.
So I couldn't tell if the world got more magical. Like, is this a thing that everyone's supposed to be able to do now, or is it just because Rand's the almighty, all powerful, whatever that Jordan wanted him to be?
I needed like 19 years later after the honestly like I don't know, I wanted like Elaine standing on a balcony being queen 20 years later. The twins are running around. No, maybe they're not running around if it's 20 years. 10 years later then. And then like just like thinking about her life a bit. Oh, I saw him in the tavern yesterday. I don't even know. Anything. I wanted more in the ending to see where they ended up. It annoyed me very much.
Rand got very useful because he could make really tasty tea. He had these abilities to just make plants grow around him. I mean, he finally had some uses later in the book.
Yeah.
What did he do with the Dark One in the end?
You just put him back in a cage, and then he's going to start breaking out again over the next couple of thousand years. So it's just the same.
Then what the fuck is the point? Like, this is just a... Rand's like, oh, I hate my life. I hate my responsibility. I don't want to be this guy. And I'm like, okay, so somebody else is going to have to be that guy because you couldn't kill the Dark One. Well fucking done.
But yeah, but then Rand
is
going to be reborn to be the dragon again.
Oh, God. And then
but it takes thousands of years, though.
He's going to have Lews Therin in his head and Rand. And imagine having Rand. Imagine being Rand with Rand in your head. Oh, God. It's going to be so cool.
I think that would have been a great sequel series.
Oh,
I think that
if
guy might
Jordan
off
had
himself
lived.
before he meets the Dark Lord.
True.
That's
I can imagine it having been written as another sequel series had Jordan been younger when he finished this one and been around
I
still.
was wondering actually, because you know how we had that one of the most interesting things about this entire series was that one scene that we had where, was it Rand and Matt went to go see the visions in the Aiel place and they saw like the machines and stuff, which obviously is like theoretically Wheel of Time is set in our world because the wheel keeps turning. We're like in a different place. I was wondering if Brandon Sanderson was inspired with the, like all of his different eras of Mistborn by this kind of concept, because like that's what he's doing. Like he's writing the same world in different stages of time, and that is something that I would like to have seen more of, like specifically like the part of the world that they saw in that vision. Because theoretically, if there was another series and it was just like the wheel keeps turning, it would be the same series. It would be in the same time period, because it would be at the same point in the turning of the wheel. So you wouldn't ever really get anything new because the same things are supposed to happen over and over again.
Yeah.
Although the last time when Luce Theron and the Dark Lord fought, it was during that more advanced age. And breaking it is what sent them back. So theoretically, their meetup could happen at any point throughout the age.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, because they broke the world.
More interested. So then I feel like Brandon Sanderson could have been inspired by that even more then, because like he's doing like kind of revisiting the same kind of thing in each. Because like the topic of Mistborn Era 2 is still very much connected to what they were doing and what they learned in Mistborn Era 1. And actually thinking about it, what they learned in Mistborn Era 1 parallel to like Rand's decision not to kill the Dark One and imprison him. So there's a lot making sense.
We know that Brandon Sanderson is a big Wheel of Time fanboy, and he also wrote the series.
Nat said that you can see a lot of Jordan's influences.
Yeah.
I know when I started rereading, I reread the first half of Way of Kings last July, and I was like, I can see Wheel of Time in this far too much now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Brandon Sanderson does much better plot twists and stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure. And characters you actually like and care about.
Except Shallan. I don't like Shallan.
Oh, I don't like Shallan either, but I like Navani.
Oh yeah.
Navani, and I like Adolin's my favorite.
Yeah, but I just think that Brandon doesn't write that good female characters in general.
I really like Vin. Everyone hates.
Yeah, okay. Look, I love Vin, but she's one out of like how many that you like?
Not many. Like. He doesn't really have that many. Navani.
Yeah, exactly.
He knows his strengths.
What's Navani's daughter called?
What do you say?
Navani's daughter.
The princess lady. I don't remember her.
The one that Shallan works for. I like her.
Yeah.
Jasna? Is it Jasna?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. So I like her. I like Navani. I like Vin. I like the sisters in Warbreaker as well. And I can't really remember Elantris all that much because it's the first one I read in like 2018. So I can't.
But the character like this, the female main character in Elantris feels very much like the same like one of the characters in Warbreaker. I feel like you just write the same women over and over.
I don't like Steris. I hate Steris.
Steris is basically the main character in Elantris. She's not like other girls, you know.
Steris.
They're all not like other girls.
Sanderson trying to be a feminist, but like mansplaining feminism. I'm sure in that series, Steris literally says like, "Oh, I thought to be like women, like a woman, I had to be pretty and care about dresses, but I care about maths, and I'm still a woman." And I'm like, okay.
Yes, this. But I love Elantris actually.
Elantris was my first Sanderson.
So is like a lot of other girls he writes. They're all not like other girls. Like Jasna, I feel like she's very much like other girls. Cheers. And also Shallan.
Jasmine's just like, I just want to read my books and learn my shit. And
that is not like other girls.
She's also not like other boys. She's like, I just want to read my books. She doesn't care about other girls.
Relatable.
But either way, back to Wheel of Time. I don't even know what to say. Hey, kitty.
Hi, kitty cat.
Are you half the kitty cat? So when are you going to reread Amberly?
She already started.
I haven't. No. I'm excited because I was waiting until we finished Wheel of Time to actually start reading Sanderson because I've never read a Sanderson book before.
Whoa.
Which is why I was not participating in this entire conversation you were just having, and I was playing with my cat.
Yeah, because like I was like, do we do Sanderson next? But then I'm like, I can't do that. And then I did Vampire Academy instead.
People keep asking me to do Sanderson, but all of my catch-up book club posts have already read Sanderson, so like it's kind of, for the sake of the host, it's kind of redundant. But I would reread Sanderson.
So you would join if I did Sanderson?
I would, but to be fair, it wouldn't be as taxing for me because I've already read them, so they would be reread. But I would not do Miss Bonnie Era 2 because I'm never rereading those books.
Well, you can pitch in for Sanderson, and then when we're in Miss Bonnie Era 2, you can chop out and then come back in.
Come back for Stormlight, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but we would probably do them interlaced because that's what you got to do.
Yeah, that's fine.
So then you could just be there sometimes. Well, but now I have committed to Vampire Academy, but it's only a year. So next year then, like next series, unless Becca does it.
No, I'm not doing it because it's just really, really long for a series that most of the hosts have already read. We'd only be doing it for Gavin's. Deb's read some Sanderson, so we'd only be doing it for Gavin's benefit. Everyone else. I can't really discuss Elantris from the perspective of never having read it. And if all of the other hosts have read Elantris, then it's more going to be like a Sanderson deep dive. Like I like to have the balance of people who are already, like a couple of people who've already read the series, and then people who are reading it for the first time. Because I feel like it's going to be like if I read Elantris and I'm surrounded by people who've read Elantris and Mistborn, it's going to be more of like a comparison between Sanderson works, which for people reading the books as beginners, it's not really accessible because you don't understand why I'm comparing the Elantris person to Eland because you don't know who Eland is. Sorry. That was
but okay. But then you just need to add more hosts who hasn't read Sanderson, and that is your answer.
My catch-up book club host, like, unless you drop out, you stay a host.
You could just add more people.
6 is enough.
Okay. But I could do Sanderson.
Oh, Colin, my real-time updates for Era 2 are pretty much the same as Wheel of Time. It's how much I hate everybody. Wayne, disgusting. Vile.
Okay, so what I'm realizing now is that you need to come for the live shows, but you don't actually have to read a book.
I know, but I like barely read them to begin with is the thing. Like I listened to the audiobook in the way that I listened to the audiobook of this, where I can't really tell you anything that happened because I don't care. I only care about like the Cosmere as a whole and like the Mistborn lore as a whole. But the actual individual plots of the books with the stupid train heists and the gunfights, I don't care about it.
Love stairs and wax. This is wild. This is wild, Colin.
Colin with the hot takes.
Are you doing Sanderson then? Because I need to know whether I'm reading Sanderson or if I'm waiting to read Sanderson. If you're doing Sanderson,
can you wait a year to read Sanderson?
Can you wait a year to read Sanderson?
They've already been on my bookshelf for like 4 years now, so I don't see that being a problem.
I was just like, let's just start now, but I'm not doing Catch Up Book Club and Sanderson and Vampire Academy and whatever else. I don't even know what else I'm doing. I'm doing a Patreon one, and then I'm in errands, and I'm like, that's a lot. That's a lot of balls.
I don't feel like committing to Sanderson as well, because like I said, I've already read them, and I also they're some of my favorite books, so it's not difficult to reread them for me. But although allegedly it is, because I've been trying to reread Stormlight I actually started rereading Stormlight this time last year.
Maybe Sanderson.
When you were at Comic-Con, right?
Yeah, and I've still only read the first half of Wave King.
I keep saying I'm going to, because I've said I'm going to read Winds of Truth this year. I don't think that's happening anymore because I haven't even restarted.
Well, next year, guys. Next year at this time, we are done with Vampire Academy. It's just 1 year break.
Yeah.
Okay, do you have more about the actual Wheel of Time?
I mean, I had a couple more notes, but we got to the one where I said, love it that Bella is still kicking strong, and I got sad.
Oh dear.
That's amazing.
Maybe she'll get reborn too.
Everyone gets reborn.
I will never forgive that one. It was unnecessary, and I'm still really upset about it.
Like, literally so what was the point? What was actually the point? It wasn't even a sad death, because it's like, oh, she got shot by a horse, and then Oliver's like, oh, I'm so sorry, and then she dies. Like, literally in like 3 sentences.
Well, I was going to say, what was the necessity of keeping Fail alive, you know?
At least she got really beat up. I mean,
Oh my god, damn!
but I'm still annoyed that the wolves couldn't find her. Why did he need a dream and a bird? Like,
I thought, because I've forgotten if she lived or not, so I thought when he was dreaming about the bird that it was like her saying goodbye, and that it was him finding her. It was so disappointing.
I don't remember any of this.
she was in a ditch underneath a cart
Carriage.
or something.
Like, I don't
Yeah.
remember him finding her. I don't remember him dreaming and a bird. Like, I don't remember any of it.
Wasn't it a bird? It was a bird. Like, the dream went and found her, and he woke up and he's like, oh, she's alive. I have to go find her.
I was
Just-
also really disappointed in her lack of.
This is so
Apart.
funny, because I was thinking the same. Where is Moraine?
I was very confused about this because I remember the only time I remember her towards like the end of this book is Tom talking about her, like trying to get back to her and trying to find her and like making sure that she survived. But every time he mentioned her, I was like, but where is she and what's she doing?
Yeah, she was fighting, and he was sitting there writing a song and throwing knives at people.
And then
She was in the
holding her
cave.
hand, right, in the cave.
She was in the cave with Nynaeve, where Rand was
Oh, Nynaeve.
fighting the Dark One, and Tom was guarding the entrance of the cave
Oh, okay,
while he was writing his ballad.
that's fair.
Again, that will look so cool in TV show. I'm so excited.
So, did Loyal write the series?
What?
Did Loyal write the series? Because he's writing the story. But then there's another book, right? That's written by somebody else. 1 minute. It says.
I know there was a quote at the very end of the book that came from Loyal's book.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
and then there's another one that's from Carol Drianan T. Calamon, The Cycle of the Dragon. And I'm like, who the fuck? What's this? With an unknown author. Ooh, is it relevant that it's an unknown author? Why so many people writing this book? I feel like
Yeah.
to make such a big deal about Loyal writing this book, to then be just he wrote one book in the series. He wrote The Dragon Reborn. Wasn't even the best book.
Could the unknown author be Rand?
Maybe
Rand?
That would explain why Rand's the main
Rand
character.
wrote the books.
Yes.
How do you know, Natalie? How do you know?
Okay, but right, I've
Did
never
you
seen.
talk to Rand, Natalie? Did you ask him?
Everybody's obsession with him makes so much sense if he's the character.
Does he have the skills to write the book? I've never seen him write anything. He was really insistent that he built schools. And also, how does he know about Nynaeve and Lan's passionate love affair?
Because he has spoken to his wives later in life, and then when he wrote them.
That explains why so much of this book reads like gossip between fishwives.
Yeah, exactly. We figured it out, guys. Rand wrote Wheel of Time.
Did everyone see the link that Nat dropped in the Discord?
No, because
She
it was
found
about
the
math.
website. She found the website that was the timeline.
Oh, that's
Yeah. But also, look, I know that we are haters here, but I loved the last part because every book has started with a wind,
I feel
right?
like
And
I'm
then the book ended.
mid, and you two love it. So
But the ending ended with a wind. Like there are no endings. There will never be endings to the turning of the Wheel of Time. But it was an ending, and it was just like it came into like the first. I don't know. I really liked like the wind part of the book. It made me get goosebumps, and then I was just like, ooh, and it was fun.
I do agree that I like the ending.
Thank
And then
you.
also
Like,
the
not, I
last-
didn't.
I mean, the way it ended.
Yeah. Not like that. I didn't like the ending with Rand going off with his horse, but I liked
also
like
the last quote, the one from Loyal, is also about the wind.
yes. And I thought that because we had that fucking wind in every single like first chapter, not prologue, and then I was just like, the wind is an end, and I was like,
oh my god, I just realized I can uninstall this Wheel of Time app.
I was thinking about that the other day, and my phone was complaining it had too much stuff on it. I'm like, soon you will be gone.
Oh, I'll keep that.
yes, me too.
I went to the timeline to try to see exactly how long the span of the 14 books was supposed to be, except they only have dates up to like the start of the 12th book. So the start of the 12th book was 2 years, and that was around the time that Varen gave Matt that letter. And then there's no dates after that.
And then what, didn't he hold on to the letter for something like 3 months without opening it? And then when did we find out she was pregnant though? That had to have been by around then, right?
Oh no, I think that was way before that.
Everyone go and give Gavin views.
In book 12.
Oh yeah, the Gavin video we can all watch now.
Yes, we can finally watch the Gavin video. I'm excited.
What did you say, Beth? I didn't hear a single word of what you said.
Me, I said Varen found out about the letter stuff for Varen with book 12. And what else did I say? Oh, I now understand why everyone thinks book 12 is the best book.
It is. Should comment in Gavin's video comment section. I don't know. Matt Sims 5 or something. I don't know. But if you're not the Matt simp, then maybe you don't want to comment that. Justice for Bella.
Justice for Bella.
Justice for Bella. Everyone go and comment that when you watched it.
We read the whole thing. You did the smart choice.
Because you know when in the studio on YouTube, all your latest comments come on top, no matter what video. So if everyone watches his age at the same time and everyone wants Justice for Bella, he will go in and only see that. And he's just like, what's going on? Yeah.
We did tell him though after the last
we did
he was going to get a boost after the show on that video.
It's true.
Hello. The way I shut my door before we started this, thinking I had 0 cats in my room, and throughout the course of the past hour, all 3 of the cats have appeared from places in my room.
In your bedroom.
Well, at least you weren't like Cecilia today on Sprints and found her book in her washing machine.
Oh.
I missed
like,
that.
It wasn't on in her, but she had put her bag in the washing machine with her book. And she has no idea how it got there. She spent I found 10 minutes looking for that book. It was great. It was great.
I want to see
it was a pre-wash or post-wash.
But no, she hasn't watched anything. But it was just there, and she was just looking for a book everywhere. She didn't understand where to put it, and she looked inside the closet, and her bag was in the washing machine with her book in it.
Wow.
And yeah. Are you unhauling your Wheel of Time books, Becca?
Absolutely, but I am a clever bitch. So I am waiting until Shelf It or Scrap It is like, oh, I want to shelf this book. What will I unhaul? Oh, 7 Wheel of Time books. How convenient. So yeah.
How convenient. Everyone prepare to be shocked at those go. Now, I'm sure there'll be some intense internal debate.
Can you dedicate?
Should I not?
Can you dedicate your Shelf and Scrap It video to me? Be like, thank you, Sandra, for making me able to clear all the space off my shelf.
No.
Oh, dang it.
I did notice earlier because I unhauled something else and I was like, oh, should I unhaul these Wheel of Time books now? Because I was waiting until I'd finished the series just to be sure I didn't want them. And then I actually looked in the stacks and I was like, I only have 5 paperbacks that would go on those shelves to replace the 7 that I'm taking off. And because all of my books are hardbacks, I don't have any hardback shelving. So it doesn't even help, really.
You need to mix your paper and hardback.
No, because they don't fit on these shelves. These shelves
yeah.
Because they're DVD shelves. And people are always like, why don't you get new shelves? I don't want new shelves. I like my shelves. I don't like my books.
I say you need to mix them, and then I don't. Like, this is only hardback shelves behind me.
Oh, yeah. See, I don't mind mixing them, but my shelves don't allow it, and I don't like those shelves because they've got far too much space on them.
Oh, I'm lying because I have my Sanderson here, and they are paperback up there.
Mm-hmm.
Up there.
You just hide them with your camera angles.
Yeah, but like, I assume you don't want to sit and look at me like this.
Maybe not.
But my Sanderson is here, and it's double stacks behind there. They're there, sorry, here. And I have more Sanderson on top. He has too many books, and I have too many editions of Way of Kings.
I also have my unhaul books are like I've got 1.5 stacks of books to one haul now, so I don't want to take the Wheel of Time ones off until I have to, because then I'm just going to have more books on the floor. And I already have loads of books on the floor over there. So
I have lots of books on the floor too.
yeah, this is the biggest book that I've ever read.
Ever?
Yeah.
Really?
Well,
What about Way of Kings?
so
How many
I
pages was it?
the UK paperbacks are in 2 halves.
Yes, I
So
do have those too.
like technically, yeah, like Oathbringer is probably the biggest book that I've ever read. Or is it the second one that's the biggest?
Yeah, or Surveillance.
Yeah,
Winds
well,
of Truth will be bigger, right?
I haven't read it yet, and I haven't read Rhythm of War either.
Mhm.
I do have Rhythm of War in one entire book and not in 2 halves. But yeah, so my longest books are Memory of Light, Lord of Chaos, The Shadow Rising, and then Kingdom of Ash. And then Towers of Midnight, The Fires of Heaven.
Okay.
How many pages was this book in your edition?
1010 without the glossary.
Yeah,
Okay,
ours
yeah,
was like 900 something.
I've definitely read longer.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was
Gone
supposed
with
to
the
say.
Wind is longer than that, actually.
Mhm. It
But
is.
Gone with the Wind is bad.
That's
Ours was
like
only
my favorite
909.
book.
He's Gone with the
And
Wind. Oh no, I always confuse Gone with the Wind with Watership Down, and I don't know why.
Are there any
Very
paperbacks on the
different books.
shelves?
Two very, very different things.
You can transfer to the paperback shelves.
So I can put small hardbacks on my paperback shelves, but I can't. Aside from that, they're pretty much split between paperbacks and hardbacks on all the shelves.
Check how many pages I wasted. I am proud of all of you. I'm proud of everyone for sticking around, especially Becca, who was here out of guilt. So I'm just laughing. No.
Listen, y'all remember this when everyone thinks that I'm the massive bitch of BookTube. Y'all remember?
I think you're a massive bitch.
Oh,
My Lord of Chaos was longer than this one.
oh wow.
Probably just because of the additions, but I also have a lot of Stephen King that was longer than this. Yeah. And Les Mis. That was my actual longest.
What were you gonna say about being a massive bitch? I was waiting for more.
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
Just that.
We can all let the bro fantasy peeps that we did it and stop complaining if they do.
It's true.
And then we do Cosmere next. Look at us. We are the dude bros now. And you're done first Wot-Along. It's literally
Robin Hobb.
and we are the dude bros now. I haven't finished Robin Hobb, but
Did the Dude Bros like Robin Hobb?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's the one woman they can tolerate, but only probably because she writes under her pen name.
And
Yeah.
probably because when they started reading her books, they thought she was a man.
Yeah. I also did, to be fair. Like all the way back when I bought the book in a bookstore, it started Robin Hobb, and I was like, oh, I was going to read this. And I came home, and then like I had the books for years before actually reading it. But then when I started it, I found out she was a woman. I was like, what? Mind blown. But yeah.
Yes.
Well, what is
Yes,
the
you do.
ultimate dude bro? It is Name of the Wind, but that is not finished. So yeah. And it's only 3 books.
It's definitely Wheel of Time. Or Malazan. Or Malazan.
And then also the Scott Lynch.
I don't think they're ultimate dude bro. They are definitely dude bro books.
They are dude bro books.
That's why they're high on my TBR, because I love dude bro books. I hate dude books.
I didn't love what's it called? The Lives of Locke Lamora. That's
Yeah,
what it's called.
is it The Gentleman Bastard? Is that what the series is
Yeah,
called?
because
I feel like what I've heard about the main character of that series, I just feel like I'm gonna love it.
Oh, I want to read it really badly. It's on my TBR.
I
read
was
the first one
annoyed
ages ago, but
I felt like it was like overhyped, a bit like I felt about First Law. But what I'm annoyed about is that it's only 3 books out and it's supposed to be 7, and it's been literally 2 decades, I feel like, since the first one was released. So when you take that long, I kind of I don't lose interest, but I just like then I don't bother reading that because like I need to reread the whole thing every time you release a book, and I don't bother doing that. You know?
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, Game of Thrones, dude bro.
Yeah,
but I love
another
them.
one that will never be
I love
finished.
them. I love them.
I did not enjoy Game of Thrones. By the time I got to the 5th book, and I had already realized that there is not going to be a 6th book, I was over it, and so I just never finished the 5th book.
I think George R. R. Martin's writing style is very like to the point, like he doesn't. One of the really interesting things about Game of Thrones is that he doesn't really influence you with his writing who to like and who not to like, which is why so many people like so many different like characters from Game of Thrones. I do think I would have struggled to get through it without watching the show because my attachment to the characters in the show is what brought the characters to life in the book. So
well, I read it without watching the show.
Yeah, see, without
I read the first one or two before the show, and they were too long for what I was getting out of them.
When he switched to the point where he was heading the chapters with titles or nicknames instead of telling me who the character actually was, I was really done at that point.
Oh, but okay. I feel like a lot of people don't like them, but I love.
I'm reading the first one right now, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm having a good time.
The series goes a bit like, but
I can tell you a Dude Bro series we haven't mentioned. Red Rising.
Oh, Red Rising. But you know I have conflicted feelings about this one, Becca.
Grown men howl when Pierce Brown walks in the room.
True.
But I feel like it was so popular, like Red Rising was so popular among like Hunger Games era-esque fans that I feel like it's almost not Dude Bro.
Yeah, but that's people with no reading comprehension because the amount of reviews that I see on Goodreads that's like, I heard this was adult and it's just a young adult version of it's a young adult ripoff of the Hunger Games, and I'm like, you clearly do not understand to read a book.
I'm gonna give them another shot, just like they did Fate Fallen, Fate.
Okay. What happens in Dark Age, and I'm like, this is a young adult series because like the amount of people who get like surprised beheaded.
I have a theoretical question. If George R. R. Martin ever releases the next Game of Thrones book, you would do Elisha, right?
Yeah.
Are you gonna then ask back the old hosts that read the original series with you? Or are you gonna do the ones you have now?
Probably not. Not the ones that I have now. I would have to blend some of the hosts that I've got, some I've had in the past, and new ones, I think.
Don't kick me out. I love Game of Thrones.
I can't even remember. I was thinking about this the other day, and I was like, I genuinely can't remember who my original hosts were. Oh, I've got Gavin.
Yeah. Well, I know you had Cody and Ashley because I wasn't reading with you guys.
Ashley was
Cass
was Hob.
Okay.
Oh.
It was somebody called, it was a different Ashley who was like a big Game of Thrones fan because that was the person that we had who'd already read Game of Thrones. That was like the super fan.
I'm gonna check now for you.
There was Rachel.
Yeah.
Who's Rachel?
Marie.
Oh.
Zaf. Zaf's always been there. Zaf's the only.
Look, I found them. Oh God. That was your face. It was Cody, Marie.
That was nice, Sandra. Oh God.
Don't have a degree in reading. It's Oshia Ra. That's an Ashley, yes.
That's Ashley, yeah.
And who has not posted on YouTube in 9 years.
Yeah.
And then it was Ryan, and then and Safina. So Gavin was not there.
Yeah, Gavin replaced Ryan.
I see. Interesting. Well, thank you. This was. Do we want to say something about Wheel of Time?
Thanks for sticking with us this long. Happy 10-year YouTube anniversary to Sandra.
Oh yeah.
It's a great day. We are ending an era, not of YouTube, but of Wheel of Time.
Sandra's like, I'm out of here. 10 years.
I'm out.
Bye.
As if I've not suffered enough already. And then everyone should join in for Vampire Academy.
Yes.
Becca's not, but we are reeling her back in for the Cosmere.
Catch Up Book Club is eternal. You can find us over there.
Yeah.
Yes. Then Amberley is not there, but it's fine.
It's a good time to jump into Catch Up Book Club because after the next book, we're starting a new trilogy.
That's true.
And I don't think you need to have read the first 4. So if you haven't, you can join in.
Exactly.
A lot of the discussion may go over your head, but you can join
in. But it's always entertaining regardless.
You started it already? I'm starting in August.
Yeah.
I need to update my description box as well because all my description box has like the Wheel of Time read along in it. Now I need to change it to Vampire Academy.
Oh wow.
Yeah, obviously, because there's no point linking a read along that's over.
Yeah, no, but like I don't link mine. I only link mine if I talk about it. It's not just like in my description box.
No, I just always have it there. I've had it there for 2.5 years, so I might as well keep doing it.
If it ain't broke.
Hey, we did have someone new pop into the Discord last week who was just starting their journey, so obviously something's working.
Exactly. So if you are starting, or like if you want to reread, I'm not going to close down the Discord. It can be there if you want to simp about math. I'm going to probably reread at the point, so then I can write there. Because always, I need to also say in the beginning, when Wheel of Time Along started, we had over 300 people in the Discord. And now it says we have about 100. So a lot of people yeeted out of there. So it's like, it's the true fans that are left. So like,
Absolutely.
I don't know. Maybe the true fans left when they discovered how much we hit it.
Or it's the people left who forgot that it's there.
Yeah.
And go, wait, oh, what? Every once in a
Yeah.
while they get an announcement about a live show. It's fine.
it's great. Okay.
Well, I was happy to be here, Sandra. Thank you.
Aww.
While I didn't love the series, I've had a lot of fun with these live shows. So
I don't know
I
if
am
Becca had
also
fun
thankful.
with the live shows or with the books, honestly, but she's here, so.
I don't know. The bounce is all right in it, but there's also like 1,000 other things I could have done with this time.
That's very true.
Reading these books and participating in live shows.
What do people say? It's not about the goal, it's about the journey and the friends you make along
That is
the
a
way.
Stormlight quote, Sandra. How can you not know it?
Sorry.
Journey before destination, Sandra.
Yeah.
I don't think that Sanderson can claim that.
No.
Oh no.
Well,
like a recurring theme.
we are journey over destination. With that, we are going. See for everyone in July for catch up thing.
Wow.
I'm lagging. Catch up
For the Wrath.
Yes.
Join us for Wrath.
and you should see us soon.
Bye.